Hey, welcome back. I don't like to do this and not be prepared for a vlog or whatever, but I wanted to talk about this book and I wanted to drink this rum. And this week was really busy because last week I was on vacation and I have a date tomorrow probably. This girl I was talking to on Hinge, we're probably gonna meet tomorrow. I don't know. I'm feeling bad about what side is it. Ooh, this side is bad. Like this area. But what are we gonna do? So there's a lot of stuff to talk about. This is the rum and coke. Let's just drink it. I think I might be able to do this. Oh yeah, I could drink that. It's interesting. So the thing is, we're probably gonna go to like a bar. I kind of want to order a drink. Don't think I want to. I wish I had done more of these and been like, okay, I don't like wine. Okay, I like beer. Okay, I like rum and coke. I know, I'm not a big alcohol drinker. It's fine. But I want to go, this person wants to go get a drink. I want to do that. I want to be able to do that. I've never done it before. I just want to do it. I want to do it. I'm not doing it because oh, I should do it. I want to do it, okay? I know you're supposed to put ice in it. Maybe that would help, but I'm just gonna have this one drink. Whew. It does taste like paint. So, how to be yourself. If I prepared better, this video would be better. I have these notes. I read this book a month ago. This is gonna be bad, but I have to do my laundry because I don't have any clothes for tomorrow. Tomorrow I have to work in the morning on Saturday, and I don't know. It's good. It's good that I'm busy, but I'm just record a video. Who cares? I gotta talk about this book. I'm gonna wait another week to talk about this book. Let's just go through some notes. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, I have a lot. Okay. Research shows social anxiety is a package deal. It comes with a lot of positive traits. You are thoughtful and pro-social. You aren't antisocial. You want to make other people feel good. You're pro-social. I think, it's kind of a misconception that people with social anxiety are antisocial or asocial or whatever. They are asocial, but not antisocial. They're not misanthropes. They don't hate people. They don't you hear people say that all the time, right? Oh, I hate people, they're the worst. People with social anxiety aren't really like that. It seems like what this book is saying, and what the research, whatever research is, the reason why you have anxiety is because you want to make people happy and you want to do the right thing. If you didn't like people, you wouldn't care about them and you wouldn't have anxiety. So it makes sense. So if you have social anxiety, you're a good person, and that's kind of what I've been seeing in the Bessies group and the people who comment. Somebody commented today, Connor. I have to respond to all my comments. All my comments. Ooh, look at me. Look, there's your shout out, Connor, if you're still watching, which you probably aren't, but. Oh, that was too much. Well, you know what? It's not as bad as the wine. The wine had that whew. That's what I want to do from now on is I don't care anymore about does being drunk help you? Whatever. I proved that to myself that if I'm going to drink, it's not going to be to help me with my social anxiety. It doesn't really do that. I'm going to test it tomorrow. I'm going to have a drink. Just one drink. I want to be funny with this girl. Cuz it's hard. It's hard for me to be funny in person. But when we're texting, I can make jokes. I think they're good. I don't know. I want to back that up in person. Harder in person. Being me without social anxiety isn't being a normal person, which is good because I don't like normal people. I can still be who I want without the anxiety. I didn't get that impression from the past therapists. I thought I would be normal and not care. I remember the past therapists, especially the first one. They weren't good at explaining to me that you can still be you without anxiety, and it's not really that different. You just don't have the anxiety. They kept trying, and they didn't explain it well because the first thing they said is okay, you need to stop caring about other people. It's what? That's my thing. I don't want to lose that. I don't want to not care. The book is no, you can still be a good person and care and just take the anxiety part out of it. They're not connected. It always seemed to me in past therapy that like they're connected, and they just weren't very good at explaining that, because they'd be like, yeah, you care too much, like you're too connected with other people's feelings, and so stop that and your anxiety will go away. So it's like they're saying it's like connected, but it's not. And I can see that, like my anxiety is a little bit better now, and I still am pro-social, and I still care about people. I still care like about being a good person. She said Gandhi had social anxiety, so that's interesting. Hey, I'm like Gandhi, except without the actually Gandhi stuff. Avoidance is the thing that keeps your social anxiety. So obviously to get rid of it, you have to not avoid it. But I thought not avoiding it just meant going, but no, it means talking. You have to not avoid talking. That's why improv is good. It forces you to talk. There's something I mentioned to the therapist like the other day, which was like, if you had asked me 6 years ago or whatever, or talked to me and been like, you just have to keep doing things over and over again and eventually it'll be easier, I'd be like, I've been going to school my entire life. I go there every day. I'm around people every day, and it's not easier. It's always hard. So what are you talking about? I've talked about this kind of before, but like, I thought avoiding just meant not going, but it means not talking. And you're still avoiding even if you're going to the thing. And that's the thing that maybe it's obvious, but it's never obvious to me. I guess I never really put it together, like talking, focus on the talking part, not just like everybody else when they look at your life, they're viewing it like more macro, like, oh, just social situations. Just like put yourself in social situations and then it'll get easier. But you have to focus on exactly what the thing is that like you're afraid of or whatever, and then do that. So my thing was talking. So I had to actually talk. You can't just go somewhere and not talk. That doesn't help. That's still avoidance. And avoidance is the worst thing for social anxiety. It just makes it worse. If I took more time into this, I would have talked more about my question that I asked Ellen. I asked Ellen a question. This lady right here with the PhD. Because Sadie did a cool thing where she had Ellen do a Q&A, and I submitted one of my questions. She answered like 8 questions, and my question was like, I keep reading all the examples in this book because Ellen is a therapist, and so she gives like case studies of like, oh, I had this one patient, and I had this one patient with social anxiety, and we did this. Every single person that she mentions seems like a normal person who has social anxiety. They're like, oh, I'm married and I have kids, and oh, one of the examples was like, oh, I have a girlfriend and we're meeting her parents and I'm nervous. I'm like, well, this is normal. You're a normal person. It's like examples like that. And so my question was like, how do I feel normal? And like this book applies to me. And it's not just like the book is about helping normal people who have social anxiety just lose the social anxiety. But like, I'm not normal. My social anxiety kind of like encompassed my whole life. I never had any friends. I never had a girlfriend. I never talked. Like 5 years ago, I could barely form a sentence. Like that's what we're talking about. And I was like depressed. And is this book for me? It's like a little bit too. It's like a little bit too sunshiny. The way I described it is like, oh, Jim like is afraid to talk to girls, and so he just has to talk to girls, and then he's fine. I mean, the book isn't like that. She's like a genius, Ellen, and this is a really good book. But that was the one note that I had that was like, and I asked a question about it because it was the only thing that really bothered me. And she's really good with analogies too, which I like. She had an analogy about like pruning your social awareness. The idea of pruning is like if it overgrows, then it like chokes the plants and it's like bad. So if you have too much social awareness, it's bad. You're thinking way too much, more than you need to. And you choke yourself and you don't do anything and you die socially. But if you prune it, just like stop yourself from the cyclical thoughts of like, oh, well, this person and that person and my, just prune it a little bit. You still want to be aware, but just like prune it a little bit once in a while. Cool idea. I'm the opposite of a psychopath. That's pretty neat. She said that people with social anxiety are the opposite of psychopaths. Social anxiety is the fear that a secret about you will be exposed. So she had this kind of like social anxiety Mad Lib thing where she was like, when I am blank, it will become obvious that I am blank. Social anxiety Mad Libs. I guess for me, it's when I am talking, it will become obvious that I am an idiot, loser, obviously. When I don't talk, there's ambiguity. You don't know that. You can't tell if I'm an idiot, or maybe I'm just like quiet. I mean, you can kind of, I don't know. The rum and Coke is interesting. It's like, because I've been drinking Coke so long my entire life, that when you drink rum and Coke, it's like, tastes like the Coke is bad. It's like it's gone bad. And so it's like, ugh, I don't know. But I can drink it. I mean, the wine. It was good that I did the wine first, because that was like, whew. But this is drinkable. If I drank this on the date tomorrow, be fine. Like, look at this face that I make. Oh, where are you from? What's your favorite job or whatever? Oh, that's interesting. Oh, no, I'm just kidding. Let's do it again. Do it again. Oh, do you have any family near here? Oh, that's cool. That's cool. See, I didn't make a face. Look totally normal. Oh, let's eat nachos. Um, let's do that. Let's do that. Okay, I don't know. What? Maybe that's not interesting. The book seems to be for people who are awesome and have trouble realizing it. Diego, the med school student, just needed some more confidence. But wait, how did Diego get into med school? He must have had a million interviews and friends and extracurriculars, so social anxiety couldn't have been that bad. So he just needs to remember how awesome he is, and he'll be fine. That's not me. I'm not normal like Diego. Just another example. I mean, I'm going to be repeating some things I mentioned in the Let's Plays, but I wanted to just sum the whole book up, all my notes. And if I did this better, like, I would remember more interesting stuff, but whatever. So she mentioned something she calls it the mental screensaver, and it kind of reminded me of anxiety procrastination, which is what, like, I was experiencing recently. The mental screensaver, she describes it as like when you have social anxiety, and you have like something to do, like I have a date tomorrow. Ugh. Once you know that thing, it's in your head the whole time, and like you can put other windows on top of it, but it's still there, and you're still worrying about it. It never goes away. And then like when you click off Google or whatever, it's like right in your face, and then you're worrying about it. It's always there. And so when your anxiety goes away, I don't know, you get rid of the screensaver. That's why I like anxiety procrastination better, my analogy, or my saying or whatever. I feel like the better I get, the more I just have this anxiety procrastination of like, oh, the date's tomorrow, whatever. It's not today, it's not right now, so I don't have to worry about it. I can like think about like, oh, what are we going to eat? What am I going to wear? But like, oh, it's tomorrow, whatever. We'll deal with it tomorrow. That never used to be the case for me. Once I knew about the date, I'd be worrying about it all the time. Join me in the dark side. God, look at those pimples. Every freaking time I go on a date, like these pimples come up on the side. I hate it. Just kill me. Throw me in a volcano. Positive affirmations. Oh, I liked when she said this, because she said positive affirmations like, don't worry, pull your bootstraps, you'll be fine, whatever. They don't work. And I've always felt like they don't really work for me. I mean, they work, I don't know. I never really liked them. I don't like them because it feels like a lie. If it feels like a lie, it won't work. I don't know, maybe if you just keep doing it over and over again, you'll believe it. But you have to believe it for it to work. Like, I'm worthy of love. I am a good person. I help people. I don't know, whatever you say. Like, people like me or something. If it feels like a lie, you just feel like a crazy person. I've always felt that way. What am I doing? This is crazy. Okay, this is important. Specificity is a very good tool that I never really used before. Everyone will think I'm weird if I talk. Be specific. I liked that she had this like fun like analogy of a courtroom scene where like you're putting your social anxiety on trial, and your social anxiety is like and you're the prosecutor or whatever, and you're like, what's the worst that can happen? You ask your social anxiety that question, and he'll say, everyone will think I'm weird if I talk. And then you're supposed to say to your social anxiety like, okay, well, tell me who. Is it everyone? Everyone in the world? Will Obama think that you're weird if you talk? Is Obama at the party? And then your social anxiety is like, well, okay, no, not Obama, but like everybody there. That's the worst that could happen. And you just kind of keep drilling down until I forget exactly how she phrased it. So just like trying to make your social anxiety be specific about things, and that's true. I can be vague when I'm just like, I'm the worst. I suck, and everybody hates me or whatever. And also, the flip side is to be specific in your affirmations. Don't be vague. I'm a good person. Like I am worthy of love. Like that's too vague. So when I wrote this note down, I went to see my nana in the nursing home, and I made her happy. She specifically told me like, I'm happy that you're here. That was a good thing. I can do good things. That's a very specific example of making somebody else happy because of your presence. Tell yourself that. I went to see my nephew last week in California. My sister-in-law texted me when I was leaving. I was like, oh, thanks. I'm so glad like I was there or whatever. And she was like, my nephew was so happy that like you played with him. You made him happy. And she said like you made him so happy that one day he was like coming home from school and he's telling his teacher like, oh, Anthony's waiting for me, I have to come back home. And it's like, oh. Like, so just tell yourself that you can do good things. Be specific. Be specific. Be specific. Oh, this is a good one. I'm almost done. We think we need harsh criticism to change, but we wouldn't feel that way if someone else was teaching us something. We would want them to be compassionate and understanding. So why, when we criticize ourselves, do we not take the same approach? That's very interesting. The example she gave is like, if you were learning to swim and you were like kind of swimming wrong, and your teacher was like, you stupid idiot, you're so terrible at swimming, like you're supposed to do it like this, not whatever you're doing is completely idiotic, like why are you so dumb and can't even move right, you would be like, oh, screw you, I'm never coming back to this teacher, he's not helping me, I don't want to learn to swim with this guy. And then you just leave and maybe you never learn to swim because you're like, oh, I am stupid or whatever. And so if you're like an outside observer looking at those two people, you'd be like, oh, that teacher is terrible. The person swimming is never going to learn how to swim that way. So if you view it like the person yelling is like your brain telling you like, you're so stupid, you're bad at talking, your other part of your brain is the swimmer or whatever. That's not helpful to be mean to yourself. But you do kind of feel like, oh, and she does kind of say this, and I feel like I've said this too, which it's totally wrong, that like, if I wasn't so hard on myself, I wouldn't be a good person. I wouldn't be... That's the only thing, like, keeping me from, like, murdering somebody or whatever, is to just, like, be hard on myself and to criticize myself. Like, oh, that thing you did yesterday was so stupid. You're so stupid for doing that. Don't do that. It doesn't help. That wouldn't make sense if you were swimming. So just be compassionate and be like, what a good teacher would do is to be like, all right, good job, you're in the pool. Like, step number 1. You never swum before, or you swum before and you learned some bad habits. Let's teach you how to do it right. Like, okay, this is how you do this breaststroke. You do it like this. You were a little bit off with how you were doing it. You do it like this, you're going to swim fast. That's a good teacher. 3 things to make friends. Repetition, disclosure, so show others you like them. That was just kind of like a thing at the end of the book where it's like, hey, you want to make friends? This is how you do it. Like, this is a study shows. Repetition, disclosure, show others you like them. Repetition, you have to talk to them all the time. You have to be around them all the time. I mean, not all the time, but like, that's why it helps when you're in school. Like, you're in the same class every day. And it's hard to make friends when you work from home because you never see anybody. Disclosure, obviously you don't have to do that right away, but to be like, hey, I have a date tomorrow. I'm nervous. Tell a friend that and you'll be better friends. And show others you like them. I guess there's a lot of ways you could do that. You could tell them, I like you. I like talking to you. She said, well, that's 3 ways to make like a meaningful friendship. Scrutiny takes up so much bandwidth you can't focus. You're smart, you just can't access it. I like that. Especially when you're in a social situation, you feel like an idiot because you can't form sentences. But I feel like she said something about like, oh, your brain is using a lot of processing power to like think about things that don't involve talking. Like, oh, this person, and like, oh, this person said this thing about me, like, oh, is my hair weird? That takes up so much bandwidth that like you can't form sentences. Like, you don't, it doesn't mean you're an idiot. I mean, I'm not the smartest person in the world, but I can talk here. So, like, I should be able to talk out there like this, but I can't because I'm thinking about other things. I really liked this one study about permission and structure. A group of people sat in a waiting room for 5 minutes, and an actor tried to make small talk. Then the instructor came in and said the assignment was to pretend you're at a party and get as much info as possible. Social anxiety people did bad at first, but as good as non-social anxiety people at the second time. Social anxiety people can talk, they just need permission. Volunteer. So that's why, like, I need to volunteer, because that gives me permission to talk. Like, oh, you're supposed to be here and you have a job. This is what you do. You talk to people, you tell them how to get to the... I do feel like I need permission to talk. And that's like when I do improv scenes. The easiest ones to do are like when they give you a character and they give you a scene, like you're a fireman and oh, there's a cat right there. Okay, you've told me what to do, so I'm allowed to be a fireman, and I'm allowed to shoot the cat with the hose or whatever, because I'm a fireman. But the hardest scenes are when they're kind of just like, just go. Sometimes they'll do that. Just figure it out. You know each other. Just go. All right, that's all you know. And you just have to figure out who you are. And I'm like, I don't know. We're brothers, I guess. What? That's stupid. So it's kind of hard. I haven't really been able to do this, but if you can create structure and permission in your head, if you can create structure in a social situation, like I'm the guy who's gonna talk, like give yourself permission. It's hard. It's hard to give yourself permission. Yeah, that's everything. I mean, this video's weird, the lighting's weird. I didn't put that much effort into what I was gonna say. I want to finish this though. I don't feel any different with the alcohol, but like, it's fine. I remember I was getting frustrated with the wine because I'm like, oh, I'm not feeling anything. But now I know, like, I just don't. It just doesn't really affect me. It's fine. I just can't drink too much. Just don't drink that much. Tomorrow, I have to drive. I talked to the besties group, and they're like, you can have one drink. All right, I'll have one drink. And we'll eat, like, chicken wings or something. What do you eat at a bar? That bar thing's gonna be tough, but I think I'm talking to, like, some people in the besties group, and they've been helping me a lot. I think they can walk me through it. If we meet at a bar, like, what do we do? I never sat at a bar before. Does a bar guy come over to you and he's like, what are you drinking? And I'm like, I don't know. What do you got? Should I drink a beer? I don't know if I could drink beer. I don't know if I'll like it. I don't think it tastes as bad as wine, though. But I don't want to make a face. I don't know. How was your day? See? Totally normal. Rum and Coke. If they have rum and Coke, I can do it, I think. So I did it. 2 ounces of rum with 4 ounces of Pepsi. I only had Pepsi. Maybe this is like sacrilegious, but I didn't use Coke. Anyway, thanks Dalton. Thanks Connor. Connor commented. Laura, Laura's like my new pen pal, and I haven't messaged her in a while. So sorry if you're watching. I gotta do this freaking day. Hey, we made a video. All right, good. Almost done. Yeah, I don't know. Not a fan really, but I'm good. That's it. We did it. Feel fine. See you tomorrow.